All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can get this right. Citizens of YouTube, Pastor Dowell here. I want to make this video talking about political affiliation. Makes no difference. Listen to me. Moderate. Let's go with the classes first. Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, whatever. And then you can have, you know, different titles thrown at you. Socialist, capitalist, moderate, progressive. I mean, the vocabulary just it's just endless, okay? The idea, the truth is, it makes no difference what your political affiliation is. You have to be a man or woman of truth. Now, when I say a man or woman of truth, you have to be able to vote your conscience. You have to be able to speak your conscience. And of course, with speaking your conscience, even within your own party, you stand a chance of being lambasted, ostracized, derided, chided, ridiculed, scorned, mocked, an object of scorn. I mean, people can get pretty ugly when you go against the status quo and what allegedly are these unwritten rules of conviction in a particular party. But you have to vote your conscience. Also, what is associated, regardless of what your political affiliation is, and people don't like to say this, but it is the truth. They don't even want to hear it. But whatever you believe religiously is ultimately going to affect your party or your political affiliation. Now listen, everybody don't have to agree with me. I have an opinion concerning politics just like anybody else does. I don't take it to heart because you disagree. I really, truly don't. Sometimes when I listen to people, I go, I don't know. However, I don't leave it there. I do my due diligence. I do my own independent research. I try to use some self-autonomy to try to figure out, okay, what is this reservation that I'm having right here? Because this person believes so passionately that they're right. So let me look into this with an open mind, because I could be wrong. Most people don't do that. And rather than looking at the facts, you know, or the facts of something, I mean, you watch these videos, I could be speaking about something, a particular subject. And then you go down in the comment section, you won't believe how many people commenting and asking questions on everything under the sun that has nothing whatsoever at all to do with the subject of the video. And then they get mad at me, tell me something's going on with me because I won't answer and all kinds of stuff. And of course, I just let it go. If you know what I mean, I just let it go. Because I don't want to put the time, the energy, or the effort chasing after trolls. And I don't mean this comment to be an insult, but it is a fact. Or trying to make someone's mind at peace if they have a low base mindset from the get-go or the outset. Some people just don't have to argue. And you got to be able to discern who that is. Because that's all they want to do. They just want to argue. Not that they're interested in truth. You know, it's kind of like a lot of these groups, they like calling a bunch of dissent and stuff. It's there to cause chaos so that you don't really, truly, you know, center your position in on the target. You know, to hit the bullseye, hit dead center. And most people, they pay too much attention to the noise on anything. I don't care if it's religiously, socially, politically, economically. I don't care what it is. There's always somebody who's trying to detour you from the course. So you've got to learn how to categorize things, and you need to listen to see what the intent of someone's heart really truly is. That's a fact. But if people could get out of their emotions, you know, one of the things I live by, and I've always lived by this, and of course, many of you, the only thing you know about Pastor Dowell is what you see on his YouTube videos or what you see in service while I'm hollering and screaming and carrying on and stuff, but you never really pay attention to the intent or the reason why I'm saying or doing certain things. Very few people do that. Why? I don't comprehend. I don't know why, but very, very few people do that, though. They don't pay attention to the intent. But the one thing that I always make sure that I do is that if I feel my emotions starting to rise up about something, all right, the first thing I do is I try to make sure I calm myself and figure out why are my emotions stirred up in this, because in the grand scheme of things, this is really nothing personal to the person. It's just a dialogue. And so I have to really truly assess myself, because you cannot make sound choices and decisions based on emotions or feelings. You can't do that. You have to gather yourself. You have to prove all things. You have to search out the matter. And then, once you made an informed decision and you've done your due diligence, then communicate with the listeners, or those who are listening, because the one thing I definitely don't ever want to do is lead anyone astray. I mean, if you ever met me before, you'll be amazed and surprised how really, truly quiet of a man that I am. I speak because I have to. Most people speak because they want to be heard. I speak because I have to. I'm actually a pretty good hearer. If you could get everybody on this, and mind you, I'm not telling nobody what to do. I'm just saying, if you could get everybody on this same sheet of music to see things and to do things this way, can you imagine what kind of people we would be, or what type of society we would have? We'd have a peaceful society, I tell you that, because everybody would consider each other, and everything won't be a personal attack. You know, a lot of people take disagreement as a personal attack, but that's really, truly not the case. It's about being informed. It's about using self-autonomy. It's about being able to have the ability to think independent. It's about not being controlled by negative feelings or emotions, or just emotions in general. It's about being in control. That's what it's about. Life is short, and every single day is precious. And I understand sometimes we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. And while being caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, we think that everything centers around the here and the now and right now. And we're not taking into account that whatever we do today, how we speak today, will echo throughout all of eternity. So we have to be sound in judgment. We have to be sound in speech. We have to speak with clarity, and we can't be motivated by internal or external sources. We have to be men and women of truth. And again, let me go ahead and a little bit further. See, and then, you know, what is truth? I mean, you don't have a truth. I heard people say it all the time, speak your truth. You don't have a truth. Now, my truth that I believe in just so happen to be the Holy Bible. So whenever you hear any perspectives or point of view that comes from me, they're usually motivated because I have an extreme amount of knowledge, a working knowledge of the law, the testimonies, the writings in the scriptures. And that's usually what everything is motivated by from me. Now, with that said, I understand that we live in a world that is defined, and of course society, they want to be able to define laws, statutory laws, and truth based on the consensus whoever the people allegedly select to govern. And then we are supposed to allegedly trust these lawmakers to pass the right laws in society and for society, even though it goes against religious conviction. And then, i.e., in comes forth the separation of what they call church and state. I still don't understand how you do it, because even on the Supreme Court, I don't care who you are, if you're going to vote your conscience, you're pretty much going to vote your conviction. And if you're convicted about something, you're probably not going to move. You may have the appearance that you're not going to move. I'll give an example. All right? You know how many people that are politicians right now that totally disagree with the alternative lifestyle of homosexuality? No matter what the Supreme Court said, but they totally disagree. Now, if they get back home and the people find out that a politician or someone has voted, because you can't do nothing about the Supreme Court lifetime appointment. But let's say you get back home and you find out somebody from the House of Representatives or somebody in the Senate vote opposite of your conviction, and they voted for homosexuality. All right? I disagree with homosexuality vehemently, and I preach against it hard. But when you're dealing with a secular society of no conviction, and you're trying to run a country and a world, they're not asking you to put your input in there based on religious conviction. They're asking you to do that which is best for society. And of course, there's no way myself personally I could be a politician, because there's no way I could divorce myself from my convictions. I can't sit up and vote with all good conscience that homosexuality is something moral, because I don't want people being predators upon my children, if you understand what I mean, when they have been reared and raised different. And of course, that's the reason why I would never be a politician. However, with those that are in the politics, if you're going to garner votes and gain favor from the LGBTEFGHIJKLMNOPQRSTUV community, you're going to have to satisfy that vote if you're planning on getting their vote, because if you disagree with homosexuality, they're not going to vote for you. And that is the motivation of politics. They may not disagree. They may not agree with your lifestyle. But secularly, politically, worldly, they have to say whatever needs to be said in order to get in office. And most people do. It's like right now, you have the Democrats right now having a hard time getting things done. Because in the Democratic Party, not only do you have Democrats, some claim to be liberal, some come out and flat out tell you, I'm not liberal, never said I was liberal, and ain't gonna be liberal. And then you have the sect of the moderates against the progressives. I mean, it's really, I can't say it's utter confusion, but there's some chaos involved. And that's the reason why people are having a difficult time today. It's hard to try to communicate. It's hard to try to have exchange and flow of information from one person to another with limited amount of knowledge. So I know it may be difficult for some of you, but I believe you can do it. Matter of fact, I know you can do it. Pastor Dowell may believe that you're more intelligent than what you are, or what you think you are. But when I make videos, try to stick to the subject matter at hand. And if you want me to address something, just kindly ask. And if I get to it, fine. If I don't get to it, fine. Because guess what? You'll still wake up and go to sleep in the morning, or you will either live or die. And when it's all said and done, if you're not doing anything, if you're not making any necessary changes in your life right now for the betterment, then all I was just a voice. A voice kind of like a voice of a sounding brass and tinkling cymbal. That's all I was. However, if you did take my advice and it's working for you, then chances are I probably made your life just a little bit better, made you conscious a little bit more easier. Tell me what you think. Y'all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. I usually call it the wicked end. We'll see you next video.